A frontal lobe stroke occurs when there is a disruption of blood flow to the frontal lobe of the brain, resulting in damage to the brain tissue. The frontal lobe is responsible for many important functions, including personality, behavior, problem-solving, decision-making, motor skills, speech production, and language comprehension. Therefore, a stroke in this area can have significant effects on an individual's cognitive, emotional, and physical functioning. Here are some of the common effects of a frontal lobe stroke. Cognitive impairments. Frontal lobe strokes can cause various cognitive deficits, such as difficulties with attention, concentration, and memory. Problem-solving abilities and the capacity to plan and organize tasks may be compromised. Some individuals may also experience changes in judgment, reasoning, and abstract thinking. Emotional and behavioral changes. Frontal lobe strokes often lead to alterations in emotional and behavioral regulation. This can manifest as changes in personality, mood swings, impulsivity, irritability, or apathy. The affected individual may exhibit inappropriate social behavior or lack emotional expression and empathy. Motor dysfunction. The frontal lobe plays a role in motor control and coordination. Following a stroke, individuals may experience weakness, paralysis, or coordination problems on the opposite side of the body, hemiparesis or hemiplegia. Fine motor skills may also be affected, making activities such as writing, buttoning clothes, or using utensils more challenging. Speech and language difficulties. Depending on the specific location of the stroke within the frontal lobe, speech and language functions may be impaired. This can lead to difficulties with speaking, expressive aphasia, understanding language, receptive aphasia, or both. Word-finding difficulties and impaired fluency may also be present. Changes in social interaction. The frontal lobe is involved in social behavior and the ability to interact with others appropriately. Following a frontal lobe stroke, individuals may have difficulty with social cues, empathy, or understanding social norms. They may exhibit socially inappropriate behaviors or struggle to maintain relationships. Executive function deficits. The frontal lobe is crucial for executive functions, which involve the ability to plan, initiate and monitor goal-directed behavior, self-regulate, and make decisions. A stroke in this region can result in deficits in executive functioning, including poor judgment, impaired problem-solving skills, decreased mental flexibility, and difficulties with multitasking and organizing. It is important to note that the specific effects of a frontal lobe stroke can vary depending on the extent and location of the brain damage, as well as individual factors. Rehabilitation programs, including physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, and cognitive therapy, can help individuals recover and regain function to the best extent possible. Each person's recovery process will be unique and depend on various factors, including the severity of the stroke, overall health, and individual resilience. Here's some additional information on the effects of a frontal lobe stroke. Impaired initiative and motivation. Frontal lobe strokes can result in a lack of initiative and reduced motivation. The affected individual may struggle to initiate and complete tasks, experience a decrease in goal-directed behavior, and exhibit reduced enthusiasm or apathy towards previously enjoyed activities. Disinhibition and impulsivity. Damage to the frontal lobe can lead to disinhibition and impulsivity, causing the individual to act without considering the consequences. They may engage in risky behaviors, make impulsive decisions, or exhibit socially inappropriate actions. Changes in personality and self-awareness. Personality changes are common after a frontal lobe stroke. The individual may display altered traits, such as becoming more irritable, aggressive, or apathetic. In some cases, there may be a loss of self-awareness, making it challenging for the person to recognize their own deficits or behavioral changes. Difficulty with time management and organization. The ability to manage time effectively and maintain organization may be impaired following a frontal lobe stroke. The individual may struggle with planning daily activities, adhering to schedules, or managing multiple tasks simultaneously. Fatigue and mental fatigue. Fatigue is a common symptom after a stroke, and individuals with frontal lobe strokes may experience both physical and mental fatigue. Mental fatigue can manifest as decreased mental endurance, reduced concentration, and difficulty maintaining focus for extended periods. Changes in sexual function. Frontal lobe strokes can affect sexual function and behavior. Some individuals may experience a decreased interest in sexual activity, changes in libido, or difficulties with sexual performance. It's important to emphasize that the effects of a frontal lobe stroke can vary widely depending on the individual and the specific area of the frontal lobe affected. Additionally, the brain has a remarkable ability to reorganize and recover functions through neuroplasticity. Rehabilitation, therapy, and support from healthcare professionals